What is going on, Diablo 2 fans? Dobrunsky here, and I am back with another episode from the Human Bot Project series. So for those that are new to my channel, the Human Bot Project is all about grinding thousands of runs offline and then compressing all of the drop highlights into an edited video for you guys to watch. Now, of course, if you guys want to hang out with me live on stream, where I MF with meta builds, hipster builds, and do Diablo 2 playthroughs, that is all now taking place on my Twitch channel. The link is, of course, in the description below. All of my future live streams are on Twitch and videos are on YouTube. So if you guys give me a follow on Twitch, I'd really appreciate it. Other than that, guys, let's recap all of the best drops from this 1000 Nihlathak run project with my Trapsin. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's jump in. There are a few key points that I want to quickly address before I jump into recapping all of the drop highlights for this video. Now, the first is, I know I mentioned earlier that I used a Trapsin for farming Nihlathak. It's not really your standard Trapsin though. It's really focused on maximizing survivability and damage output. Now, I do have a previously made video on my channel where I cover the exact build that I used in this video, but it does use a couple niche pieces of gear, like a fire faceted Shaco to boost fire blast damage, and then again all 20 life small charms to try and boost the total vitality pool of the assassin. I do have the link for that build video in the description below if you guys want to check it out. The second point is the total percent MF that I had on my Trapsin for these runs. I had just over 250 MF. I really think, in my opinion, it's better to focus on maximizing your damage and survivability, and then MF third, so that's why I only had just over 250 MF for these Trapsin runs. The third point is, what was the player's difficulty setting? Now, I ran player's 7. This character is super smooth, like she is dialed in. She's one of the best Nihlathak running characters in my opinion. The runs were just over 30 seconds, and I never really had any close calls except for dying once because of snakes, but I mean, over 1,000 runs, one death is not too bad. But we went player 7 to maximize the drop rates of destruction keys as well as the chance of items off of the white minions that are all around Nihlathak. The fourth and final point that I want to mention is that I will not be highlighting any destruction key drops during this video. I did drop double D key sets numerous times, but I felt like it's better for the video to only focus on the uniques and other high runes that drop from Nihlathak and the surrounding mobs, as opposed to highlighting destruction keys. Although I did farm a total of 89 D keys by the end of these 1000 runs, so that will go towards farming a lot of torches live on stream. But that's all of the key points that I wanted to mention, guys. So now we'll recap all of the best items from 1000 Nihlathak runs with my Trapsin. I was pretty fortunate to get a really big drop on my second Nihlathak run. A trash mob drops a unique hand axe, which is the Gnasher. This is a holy grail item drop for me, so I was really excited. The item itself is also really cool because it's pretty much the go-to item for people attempting low-level Uber Tristram challenges with a smiter because of the crushing blow, open wounds, and low-level item requirement. A nice paladin shield base drops on run 75. It's a 4 open socket, 35 all-res Kuros shield. This isn't the ideal base, and the resistance could roll a little higher, but overall it's a decent base to make the rumored spirit in for hammered in. Just over 200 runs into this project, Diablo clone walks to the earth. I spawned declone in the frigid highlands and identified an 1129 anti-charm off of him. 17 runs later, a trash mob drops an Ist rune, a staple rune for any magic fighting character in Diablo 2. This is one of the benefits of farming Nihlathak on a higher player's difficulty setting. The surrounding mobs often drop a lot of good items over the course of hundreds of MF runs. My Trapsin hits a milestone on run 361. She finally reaches level 95. After I hit level 99 on my sorceress, I want to level my assassin to either 97 or 98 as an additional side project. Exactly 100 runs later, a big ticket item drops off of another trash mob. This time an ice boar drops a low rune. Low is probably one of the most useful high runes outside of Burr and Jaw because it's used all the time to make powerful rune words like Fortitude and Grief. 2 ethereal grail items drop over the next 47 runs. First an Eth Windhammer on run 464, followed by an Eth Viper Fork on run 507. Not necessarily the most valuable Eth items, but it's still 2 items off of my Eth Grail list. followed by 2 rare set amulets on Nihlathak run 637 and 677. First, a Tal Rashes amulet, followed by a Telling of Beads amulet. Both of these set amulets can be very tough to find, so it was pretty interesting that they dropped so close together during this human bot project. An amazing item drops directly off of Nihlathak on run 696. It's a facet that rolled +5 -4 cold die. This is an awesome find, but the perfectionist in me wishes that it rolled 5/5 so that I could put it in my perfect 15% cold damage Nightwings. A cool body armor base drops just 18 runs later. It's a 4 open socket, 15% enhanced defense wire fleece. It's not as good an armor base as an Archon plate, but it's an interesting find if you like the look of this particular armor skin on your character. The first class-specific item drops off of Nihlathak on run 898. It's a unique Destroyer Helm, which is Demon Horn's Edge. This isn't a very useful item, and it didn't roll very well either, but it's still an okay find. 63 runs later, another class-specific item drops. This time, it's a unique Sky Spirit, which is Ravenlore. A more useful class-specific item, which rolled decent with a -5 res, but very poorly on the all resistance. 16 out of a maximum of 25. The last noteworthy item drops off of a Trash Mob on Nihlathak run 978. It's a 44 to all resistances Kurash shield. I really hope that I can roll 3 open sockets on this shield because I plan on making a dual Dream Tesladin build in the future, and this would be a great shield to use for that specific character. Well guys, there you have it. That wraps up all of the best drops from my 1000 Nihlathak project with my Trapsin. I think that my favorite drops overall had to be the 44 all-res Kurash shield, the really nice, nearly perfect cold facet, the low rune, and of course Nasher, that stupid item that I finally crossed off of the Grail. So we're slowly ticking off those items. I mean, I do have a couple big ticket drops left like Tyro's Might and Death Fathom and Astrians, but one step closer to completing the Grail. But overall guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you could throw a like on it, share it, and even consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. I post new weekly content and stream consistently on Twitch now. Again, if you guys want to give me a follow there, I'd really appreciate it. Other than that guys, hope you have a fan-frickin-tastic day, and I'll see you on my next video or live stream. Peace out.